tonight for dinner, just to answer the question, we're having mac and cheese, and I'm gonna mix it in a can of chicken to go along with it. That way, I have my proteins and I have my carbs and I have all that good stuff. So, how are you guys doing tonight? It has been a long day, but I'm so excited because tomorrow my inverter will be in. And I don't know what time I'll be home. I'm hoping I won't be able to do the morning live stream tomorrow, but I will be able to do the evening live stream. At least I'm hoping so, because as soon as I get that thing, I gotta I gotta do some food shopping and make my way back here. But that's gonna be like my main priority tomorrow, is to get my inverter and quickly make it back home, so in time for my live stream. So it's gonna be a busy day tomorrow, but it's going ow 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 it's gonna save me about 20 hours a week once I get this done, so that now I can spend it focusing on what I do best, or what I do worst, who knows. So but anyways, who's all here? I see we got a couple of people in chat, so let me go ahead and get this started. But let's see how this goes in. Yeah, hey, what's up, Craig? What's going on, man? Nice to see you. I still think you need to do some sort of online cookbook, man. I really think that it would benefit you a lot. Well, actually, it'd not just benefit you, but it'd benefit a lot of people, because a lot of these meals, most people don't they don't know how to make them, and when they get in the pinch is when they're ready to make them, and so it makes it a little bit rough. So hold on. Let's put this can of chicken, because I like to have my chicken cooked. So I don't have any milk tonight, so I'm gonna have to use just water, and I don't even have a lot of butter either. So I gotta pick up butter, I gotta pick up sugar. I gotta get some other stuff. I gotta make out a list tonight of what I can get at the Family Dollar tomorrow, because it's right across the street from the post office. What's up, Occult? Nice to see you, buddy. Okay. Sam, down here. But I'm definitely crap. There's a fork. I'll just do it this way. That way I can slowly cook them, and because I like my chicken to be cooked. I mean, it is cooked, but I want it to be warmed up a little bit before. I'm not a big fan of canned chicken, because sometimes it comes out a little jelly and stuff like that. Woefully uneducated on streaming videos, etc. Well, you don't have to. Write it as a blog. Do it on Reddit, and create like your own subreddit as Hobo Recipes, and then just go in there and write it down. You don't even have to do it on video. There's so many different ways to be able to market something like that, and it also depends upon what platform people get that type of information. Like the homeless mostly hang out on Facebook. They don't really hang out a lot on YouTube. So that's part of the reason why it's harder to get a larger homeless following, as I've done my time, because this really isn't a main platform that the homeless community hangs out on. Now they do now, but it's more like shorts and stuff like that. It's nothing really big. What's up, Rails? What's up, Ryan? Coming soon to Netflix. Oh, you know what? Netflix is starting to do podcasts now. Just in case you guys didn't know, Netflix is going to start. I'm going to look into that, because podcasts is kind of, YouTube is, it's not that it's oversaturated or anything else like that. It's just that people want to have, a deeper, when you really know a subject, like for example, I know homelessness and I know it very well, kind of like how Craig does. You can go on there and you could do such a deep dive into a subject, and that's what people really want. And it's usually the people that can make changes and stuff like that. I don't know. podcast is going to be something that is expected because a lot of traffic is moving towards that, and so you don't even have to show your face. You could just do strict audio. Say your message. It's much easier on your bandwidth and your data and being able to get things uploaded and stuff like that. So you do have the ability to do something like that with podcasts, and it allows you to get to more places because a lot of people are going to more paid subscriptions like Spotify and things like that, and so they're going there so that they can get better content. It's kind of like the difference between Upwork and Fiverr. Upwork is where entry-level people go. Fiverr is where entry-level people go. Upwork is where a lot of the professionals go that have a lot more experience. But you're also going to pay a lot more on Upwork for quality work. But that's kind of like where the professionals hang out. Kind of like the difference between Angie's List and Home Advisor. Home Advisors where a lot of the professionals hang out. Angie's List is more of like it's a review site, but they were never really able to get much traction other than their deals, which that really screwed a lot of people over. So, what in the meth is this? Wow, Joseph, what's up? But anyways, that's just. Craig, you do really good. What's up, DFH? Craig, you do really good if you if you just put it on a website, hobomeals.com or something, and just went in there and just write it out as recipes, and the as long as you connect with the Google search, which is what allows the web crawler to follow through. You can give a brief introduction to like what the recipe is, maybe a history of the recipe, stuff like that, because you give a lot of good information, and then just give the ingredients, and people will flock to you all day long. Now, how you monetize it, that's going to be on you, because you may have certain food brands that may say, hey, why don't you recommend or do a special meal with just our thing and we'll pay you so much. Then that way they can market it as, hey, look, we're even in the budget friendly meals. Okay, so there's a lot of different opportunities there if you want to use it. But a lot of the new business of the future, a lot of the digital economy of the future is going to be you're gonna have to be really creative on how you market yourself. The way that you market yourself is going to be different than the guy next to you markets himself, and because you guys have different talents, different passions and stuff like that. So you guys hear me talk about, I built this channel around homelessness, but as I'm doing a pivot into into homesteading, there's opportunities that are going to be there for me, things that weren't. Sam, give it, let go. It's done. So, want to get back up here? Get back up here. Sit. Wait. It's opening up different opportunities, because in the homeless niche, if I want to offer products and stuff like that, not only can the general clientele not really afford it, because it's part of being homeless, but the other part of it is, if I'm going to make a livable income, I have to be able to live outside of views. But anyways, that's why I'm pushing that's why I've been talking a little bit about some of the subjects with Freeman that I have been lately. Because the whole Freeman movement, every time there's an economic downturn, every time the government makes a huge overstep or overreach, a lot of the Freemen start coming out, because people start getting frustrated. Samantha, knock it off now, or you're going outside. Those are your choices. Now go lay down. Or am I going to force you to be down here? Kick it down. All the way down. Knock it off. No, all the way down. all the way down and stay down. And no, we're not doing that. Knock it off. I said all the way down or you're going outside. You better quit snapping at me. Stay. So, Dollar Tree Thanksgiving. Yeah, yeah, I know. Just want to help feed poor folk. Yes, I mean, that's fine. However you want to. I said all the way down or you're going outside. You ever bite at me again? Quit biting at me. No, get out. Hold on, guys. I got to take Sam and put her outside. Let's go. I don't understand what's getting into her, but whatever. If she keeps this up, she's gonna have to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something. I can't have a dog that it just is biting at me for no reason. And like I said, she only started this after Farm Girl. But anyways, let's see. Do I have heat in the camper? No, I do not. But anyways, so I wanted to tell you guys about a new thing that may end up going on. So I do my weekly meeting with homeless entrepreneur. Him and I talk, we brainstorm. He helps me kind of get direction with the channel and do certain things like that. And so, we sit and we meet, and he was making a mention of homeless news, and I'm like, well, I don't really do homeless news anymore because I'm pivoting to homesteading. So no, they were both, all three of them were females. So I think that was the problem. Sam thinks that she's alpha, and she kept trying to assert her dominance, and those dogs did not like it. Sam thinks that she's something she's not. She's, down south, those dogs have put her in her place, and so I really didn't have to worry about too many issues. But up here, I don't know. But a lot of it is she doesn't get to go burn off all that energy. Like, she still has a lot of energy, and I take her for walks, and I let her go out and run around and stuff like that. But I'm also noticing that as she gets older, she's kind of starting to slow down a little bit. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I don't know. Like I said, I need to talk to some people. I've just haven't had a chance, and I expect to have a chance in the next couple of days. But, I put a lot of time and effort into the dog. I don't want to just get rid of her, but I need to figure out how to break her of this indefinitely. Because that's the thing is, like, I'm really attached to the dog. I like her a lot. I'm originally from Oregon. Oh, really, Rails? Why would that explain that? Because I don't know too much. I know minimal about dogs. That's about it. So, there we go. Put this in. And the thing is part of her training is she has to be able to operate under high stress situations, because that's why I was training her to be my service dog to begin with, was to be able to survive high stress situations, and keep me in the cool, because that's generally when I'm gonna have one of these these adrenaline rushes where I just kind of like, I go nuts. So, huh. Well, this didn't turn out very good. No milk. I guess I either that or I put way too much in. But I didn't put very much in. I probably put a quarter cup of water in. Just enough. Uh, so let's go over here and have a seat. Let's see. There, that way the thing isn't in your guys' way. What part of Oregon you from? Have you ever been to Southern Oregon? Oh yeah, I've been all over the place. Medford, Roseburg, the Dalles, Seneca, Snake River, all up and down Burns, Terrebonne, Bend, Lapine. Like, I've been all over the place. Even up and down the coast, like Seaside and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I lived all over the place in Oregon. That was actually a neat little fact that you guys probably don't know about me, because I've never really talked about it. I don't have a favorite city. I liked Astoria, but that's because I like the bridge. There's different parts. Like, I like Tillamook because of that's where the Tillamook cheese factory is, and I went and took a cheese factory tour and stuff like that. But oh, okay. So, anyways, homeless entrepreneur was making a mention about news, and I'm like, well, I don't do it anymore because I'm doing homesteading. And it's like, okay, since I'm doing homesteading, I can't do that because I don't want to confuse the algorithm. I'm already confusing it enough by not taking my other stuff down and like putting it as unlisted. Which I may do. But what I'll do is I'll put it, as I take each video down, I'll write an article and put it on my blog post. That way it's there. And it's still accessible, but it doesn't confuse the algorithm. But anyways, he's got a giant donor network because he's been running his not-for-profit for like 10 years. Okay, more than 10 years. And he started as a homeless person backpacking through Europe. He's actually from Arizona, which is kind of funny. Why you picked Arizona? I'll tell you that in a minute, Chris. Anyways, he wants to do like a homeless news segment, but he's going to provide me with a lot of the people. And so what's going to happen is his channel on YouTube is essentially we're going to be doing a collaboration, but it's going to be under his name and everything else like that. But because he has such a large donor network and the way that we're setting this up, I'm hoping that it'll bring in about $500 or more a month, to kind of be able to offset what I am or what I'm not making here on YouTube. So the homeless news will still keep going, but if you guys know how like Epoch Times does their long form podcasts or their long form news, is they sit and they do like 15-minute segments. So we're looking at doing something like 60 minutes, but on homelessness and different aspects of the homeless realm. That way, people get exposed to it all, and then they get a deeper understanding. And maybe this might bring awareness to the situation, but we're going to be looking at doing like it's got to get off the ground first, but it's going to be about 2 weeks because I told him I needed about 2 weeks to be able to get stuff situated. But I wanted to let you know that that's in the works, and a big part of the reason why I'm doing it is because it offered me an opportunity for revenue and still allows me to make an impact in homelessness even though I'm kind of having to pivot my channel because I don't want to fully leave it behind. I want to make an impact. I want to make a change. Mm. Mm. What states have I been to? Let's see. Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho. I think I've been through Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio. Let's see, Tennessee, Ohio. I know I'm missing a few, but that's pretty much where I've been to. But I picked Arizona is because to survive the apocalypse. I know it's coming. It's a matter of the next few years. It's not like right around the corner like I was expecting it to be because how things escalated. But now that we have a new president that is kind of taking us away from that direction and kind of gutting the federal government, the likelihood is like the tensions are being tampered down, but he's also starting to reassert America, which I don't know how many fights that's going to cause. But I think that that before the end of this decade, we will be in at least one civil war and one global war. I think I don't know how exactly it's going to play out, but I think that those two things are on the horizon. It could be an either or it could be at all. But it's not going to turn out pretty. You got to realize our government is using AI as a weapon. Our government is they're starting to equip bombers and jets and ships with laser weapons. Okay, we're getting into a very futuristic type of weapons, and drone warfare is coming into it. I mean, look at what Iran did. And they're kind of on the leading edge of drones as far as like technology goes. They've actually kind of surpassed the United States. Ryan, I would love to do that, but I need like $500 to build the chicken coop and buy a couple of chickens. And then you bet your ass, Scott. I would definitely. That's part of what I want to. I want goats for milk because I like the goat milk. I gotta just figure out how. I just gotta have refrigeration for it. And I've got to also have a clientele because once you start milking the goats, from what I understand, if you stop, then they start drying up, and so I don't, I may need like a gallon jug once every couple of weeks. So what do I do with the gallon a day that I'm getting from one goat? Something like that. What's up, Bucknut? Nice to see you. Okay. Yeah. Well, Chris, I mean that's kind of the way it's gonna be. So I mean. From a farm area background, raise chickens for your own use. Also, you need to start chicken ranch, maybe 1 egg per week per hen, unless you use steroids and crap. I don't know. Clyde was telling me I think he gets like 6 or 7 eggs a day from his chickens, but he's got quite a few. And if I only need like 3 or 4 a day. And so that means that's 2 a day that I could do. I want to be able to have 2 dozen eggs a week for myself. That way I can have eggs with my breakfast every morning. Eggs and pancakes and, something else. Or just eggs and pancakes or eggs and toast always makes me happy. But on top of it, I can take it down to the feed store. The feed store will give me $3 for a dozen. They sell it for $4, and I can use it in trade for the I can use it in trade for feed if I want it, and then take the rest in cash. So it gives me an opportunity to not only make the chickens self-sufficient, use them for what they're good at, and be able to have my own little self-sustaining. Because here's the thing: this property, I have to figure out a way to get it to make me at least $500 a month. That's kind of the overall end goal, is minimum of $500 a month. That covers taxes, that covers payment, that covers upkeep of whatever it is that I have to do. It makes sure that this property is self-sufficient. So that means doing things like maybe do livestock boarding might be something good for me to do. Being able to produce eggs, to be able to produce, like, let's say goat milk, because goat milk goes for like $10 to $12 a gallon. And so if you're doing a gallon a day, that's like, I don't know, let's just say it's $10 a day. That's $300 a month that you could bring in. And if you're really not, I like milk, but I don't drink it that much. But that's the thing, is now I have the animals that produce the resources that I need, and then I can take the excess resources and go and sell them off in town. So therefore the land itself is making me money. So that's one thing that I'm looking for. After 6 months, you got to return the chicken. What about roosters? Rent a cock? Yeah, that's funny. Looked online for shits and giggles, and for $1,000, I could fly out for a few days, flying into Sholo. Well, you might want to consider a rental car, because it's 30 miles here to Concho from Sholo. But yeah, you could. That's not bad though. Is that round trip? So so let me ask you guys if this is the type of information that you guys would be interested in. Since I've got you guys here as regulars, let me ask you this, okay? If I'm trying to figure out how to create the content so that it gets me the traction and allows me to reach the goals that I'm looking for. So a lot of what I'm trying to do is the point of view, a homeless man turned homesteader, and showing it from my years of experience in survival. So such as 3 things that you need to consider before homesteading. And I have some authority on it because of all the things I've had to deal with over the last couple of months, plus all the things that I'd experienced over the last few years, has allowed me to be at an opportunity where I was able to thrive more than the average person does when they get out here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Will come like a thief in the night with many surprise. Yes. That's car, flight, and hotel for 3 nights. Oh, wow. Come pick me up. Take me in for a shower. But that would be cool to see. Jeremy, if you actually decided to do that, that would be awesome. Bring some tools, though. Maybe we can get some work done, because there's some stuff that I need 2 people with, or I need tools and I don't have them. None could buy or sell without government approval. It's already like that. You can't make a transaction. The banks stop it, but they stop it because they're told by the federal government to stop it. It's just at what point do they do it, and how much does AI play a role in that? What do you mean, Jigo? How many different flashlights do you rotate through? I have 4 flashlights. 2 of them you sent me. 2 of them were left behind. The 2 that were left behind, I need AA batteries. Hold on, let me double check that. So let me see, these are really nice. Okay, but now that I have the battery and the inverter coming tomorrow, I've got the lights that you sent me. Oh yeah, so this actually, how does it, okay, it's this end. So yeah, what I need is 4 AA batteries to keep these going. But these batteries last quite a while because I accidentally left my flashlight on all day. It was still going, and I've been using it for days, before and after. But yeah, I've got yeah, I need AA batteries. The other one, I still have the AAA batteries that you sent me because that's the only one that I use it for, the pen flashlight. And the little green one, which is my favorite one, it's so small, it's so easy to lose, and so I end up grabbing for something big that I've got versus, you know, something like that. And I don't know, yeah, I do like the little green flashlight though. That is my favorite, and it's USB powered, so all I gotta do is just plug it into a power block. Flashlight. Oh. Let's see. The hotel has. Oh, that's funny. I didn't. I missed it, Jeremy. Sorry, my brain said flashlight, light, not flashlight. I'm too independent and I'm too antisocial for that, Chris. So this girl that picked me up along the way and offered to give me rides if I need rides places, you know, I'm supposed to come over and meet her and her husband and her kids and stuff like that. I mean, we chit-chatted and stuff like that, and I built the friendship. But even her, I had to explain, it's like, look, man, 30 minutes, that's a lot of time for me to give up in a day to be able to have a conversation. I'm so busy with everything else. I don't really have time unless you're, here being part of my production and we're working together. I don't really have that much time to socialize and stuff like that. So even when outdoors came to visit, I really wasn't that social. I was sick, but I also wasn't that social either. Really? That sounds awesome, Bucknut. A solar, no, Ryan, the technology isn't that good yet. Not even the solar powered power block that I had was worthless. It never worked, and if it did, it'd take a week just to charge like 5,000 milliamps. No, you go. I say come visit me, but you know, during the day I'm usually working around the house, or if I can't go outside because of the weather, I'm working on my YouTube channel. But no, Jigo, I can't wait to see you, man. I do want you to come and see. It's just that I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm gonna spend 24/7 with you. I may chit chat with you for a couple hours, just and enjoy the peace and quiet, and I'll see you at dinner or something. But I'm not a super social person. I never really have been. It's part of, I don't know, it's part of who I developed into. The longer I became homeless, the less I wanted to deal with people, the less I wanted to be around people. Now, if I got somebody who's got good conversation and can keep me interested, which very few people can do, then yeah, I'll sit there and talk to you all day. I'll be so excited to talk to you. But it's very hard to find somebody that really wants to, that really has depth of thinking, that can kind of like start having really deep conversations that get down to the root cause of things versus sticking on superficial level because we're too worried about offending people. I'm not worried about offending people, but apparently people get offended by some of the things that I say, and I was like, well, that's not my intent, but if you're offended, it's on you.
Mm. Mm. Really? They're not big enough to charge the flashlight? Wow. That's... How long does it last, though? Is it worth it? I mean, yeah, you get brightness, but as soon as that thing runs out, you become blind again. They come a dime a dozen. That sounds good. I'm likely to go wandering anyways. Yeah, man. Because, yeah, I look forward to having you guys come and stay. Just don't expect me to want to socialize all day or spend all day hanging out with you. It's not that I'm a bad host. It's just that I'm not a very social host. No, I'm actually a pretty good host. Normally, luckily, a farm girl and outdoors took care of the cooking because I was so sick. Oh man, I just got to a point where I couldn't even get out of bed, and those two did all the cooking. I didn't even get to eat a meal the last night before I went to the hospital. It was that bad, but oh, it is what it is. What's up, Darius? Thanks, man. Much appreciated. I'm talking about the solar flashlights and battery banks. Oh, okay, yeah. Um, uh, the problem is with being social is the people. Yeah, really. I agree with you about that. Mm. You know the worst part about being here on the West Coast? I didn't realize how much I actually enjoyed the East Coast until I came until I came back to the West Coast. It was like, at least I mean, even though they're rough around the edges, the more east you go, at least you know what you're getting. Here, people are so fake. And then they get offended by everything. It's like, you said this in the wrong tone. It's like, come on. Really? I mean, and it's something trivial like, ow, that hurt. Something like that. It's kind of stupid. Um, so that's another reason not to be social. I moved to a place where I would never want to talk to anybody. mm. But I don't know if any of you guys watched my video this morning, but there's a guy that is he's gonna teach me some accepted for value, help me understand what it is that I'm missing, so that um, I can at least keep up with it. And I want to experiment with the process, because if I can experiment and I know what I'm doing, I would only be able I couldn't show this to everybody. I couldn't even put it on Patreon. It'd have to be something where, you and I sit and talk for a while, and I decide if I'm willing to do that type of paperwork for you, because at that point in time, you could if you make one wrong misstep, you could be dealing with a financial crime, and don't want to do that. A lot of people think that the Freeman movement is anti-government, but it's not. It's anything but anti-government. In a lot of ways, we're pro-government. But the thing is, it's about holding the government accountable and understanding where the government's all screwed up at. And it's just like somebody who like you're playing a game with them, and they constantly leave certain vulnerabilities, no matter how many times you go at them in that different way. Well, the government keeps doing that. They never change. And so, okay, I'm gonna use the vulnerabilities to my to my benefit. But then if you do use those vulnerabilities, you better be squeaky clean, because now they're gonna watch every move that you make, and you better step very carefully. Where you at, Ryan? I used to drive 18-wheelers. I can't stand that fake crap from the West. Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, huh, Chris? Are you the guy that always told me that I needed to get a trucking job? There was some guy, he used to always in the comments, he used to say, hey, you should get a trucking job. I'm like, I don't want a trucking job. I drove, oh, okay, Chicago. Yeah, that explains it. I drove so much. I used to have to drive 180 miles each direction when I had my janitorial business, my cleaning business, before we moved from Oregon to Texas. And yeah, 180 miles 5 or 6 days a week to get into town to make $300. Okay. And I mean, it would get to the point where we only got like 4 hours of sleep, and the rest of it was either driving or something. Plus, when I was in the insurance industry, oh man, I used to drive at least 750 miles a week. I had to get an oil change every month. You know, when we're driving 180 miles a day, well, 360 miles a week, or excuse me, 360 miles a day. I was having to do an oil change about every 2 weeks on that car. So I mean, it was crazy. I never want to drive ever again. That's gonna be the best thing. So, oh really? Um, I've been here for since almost the middle of November. We've had this trailer for probably about 6 weeks. But nice to see you, man. But yeah, this is all new. That's why you're starting to see a transition in the channel as far as some of the topics that I cover. Um, that wasn't half bad. No, yeah, no, not. Um, it depends upon how you define homelessness, Ryan, because according to the government, because I don't have electricity, water, or septic, I'm still considered homeless by the government. Now, anybody who's been homeless will tell you, no, this ain't homelessness. I got a place to go. Nobody can kick me off my land but me. You know, I got a place to live. So, am I really homeless? No, I have a different type of home now. But you know, it is what it is. So, hell yeah, man, good to hear. Yeah, thank you, man, much appreciated, Blake. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to, I mean, I don't know. I've just, I'm just trying to make sure that I find my way and I find my way the right way. One of the things that you guys are going to see, so you're going to see is you're going to really see me push a lot of this contracting, the not just the class, but that as a service. So now that I'm moving into homesteading, you know, there's some things that you need to really consider. When you're out here, do you know the basics of a contract? Do you know how to enforce a handshake contract? Do you know how to enforce a verbal contract? Do you know what you need to have in order? If you're doing business with people and let's say they don't pay, let's say they give you an issue, did you hash out the terms of agreement? Did you make sure that everything was going to work the way that you both want it? So here's how we do disputes. This is how we this is how what it is that you're going to do for me. This is what I'm going to do for you. This is how we dispute the issue. This is these are some addendums or writers of other things that we want to include, such as, let's say, you know, you're working on something that is kind of low key. They may want a non-disclosure act or whatever. Okay, I'm out here. If you're going to homestead, if you're going to off-grid it, if you're going to do anything like that, and you're going to work within the community, you need to be able to understand how to hash out a contract, how to be able to hash out an agreement. Because somebody might come in and say, hey, come build this fence for me. I'll pay you $15 an hour. And then, you know, the thing is they think you're taking too long. And now they feel like they're taking advantage of what safeguards do you have in place to protect yourself? You know, like what steps do you take to protect yourself from any mishaps like that? There are some people where I say, you know what, I need that. We need to put this in writing. especially if it's going to be something that's going to be complex, such as you want me to do video production work for you. Yeah, I need something in writing, which is, what is my service level agreement? What is it? What is the expected service that I'm going to provide for you? So when you start saying, well, hey, I need you to do this, and hey, I need you to do that, well, the employee mindset is that you do whatever the boss says. But when you're freelancing, when you are self-employed, you've got to realize that you've got to draw boundaries. You gave them a price for what you said you would do, and now if they want to change it, that's going to change the price. That's the way things go. That's why I talked about with this guy. Until he brought the hay, I was going to tell him next month it's going to be $500 because the extra time it takes me to go out and graze your goats. Now that he's brought me the hay, now I don't have to worry about that. It saves me time. Therefore, it saves him money because it's less time. Because I want a specific hourly rate of at least $10 an hour to be able to do something like this. It really doesn't take much time, but it's an hour a day, 30 days out of the month. Okay. So the first thing that you should always, consider, or at least have in your wheelhouse or in your skill set, is the ability to not only write a custom contract, understand a contract, know how to enforce a contract, and know how to negotiate a contract, and understand how to run a legal process in the event that you do need to be able to dispute that contract, is important knowledge if you're going to be in this lifestyle. Not everybody is honest, and not everybody will follow through. And just like with this guy, it was a handshake deal. And as things progressed, I communicated with him like, okay, we need to do this, or hey, you know what, I'm spending a lot of time here. This isn't what we agreed upon. Things like that, to let him know it's like, hey, look, you're asking me to do far beyond, so that when I come to him, I say, look, you've asked me to do far beyond. Now I need further compensation for it. Now he's not caught off guard. Okay, so negotiating an agreement between you and another individual is paramount if you're going to live this lifestyle. The other thing that you should also worry about in this lifestyle is you should be acclimated to the weather, because unless you have lots of money and you can do the whole glamour thing and have a nice camper and find this pristine piece of land and stuff like that, like you're nearing retirement, you're buying your retirement property. That's one thing, but the average person that wants to do this is in their 30s and 40s. And so they don't really have the full nest egg, especially if they can get into a property early enough so that they can have it paid off, so that they can start building on it, so that it gives them a quicker exit time from the system if that's what they're looking at doing. Okay, but if you're going to do it on a budget level, that means your stuff may not be all that great. Do you know how to survive extreme weather, whether it be heat or whether it be cold? Is your body acclimated enough to it? See, this is what the last 2.5 years or 2 years homeless has done for me, is it already allowed me to have my body acclimated to it. So it was less painful, less miserable, and less debilitating than, when you're used to having it, 65 degrees inside, and now all of a sudden you got to deal with 35-degree weather because your trailer is holier than the Vatican. It is. And so do you have the ability to sit back and weather that storm? Because here was the truth that I was told, because one of the guys pulled me aside when we first got into town. He says, look, just so you know, relationships out here don't last more than a year. Usually the woman gets so fed up with the weather and the lack of conveniences and how hard the lifestyle is, that they end up packing up and going home, leaving, something along those lines. And so this was the first warning. That's why with Farm Girl, listening to her complaints, I already knew that she wasn't going to stay very long. The place she's at now, she has all the indoor amenities: climate control, running water, electricity, septic system. She could take a shower, all that stuff. But when you're living off grid, you can't have that. Or it's not that you can't have that, it's that when you start out, you probably won't have that. And if you don't have that, you've got to learn how to endure. Because I think the third most important thing that you need to consider before even coming into this lifestyle is that is the grind in which it takes. Not only are you dealing with the inclement weather and you're dealing with harsh conditions, not you may take a shower once a week. You may wear your clothes for 3, 4, 5 days at a time. Just because you're trying to conserve. But do you have the ability to deal with it? Men are more likely to stick through something like this than a woman. Although a woman, has her strengths as well. But when it comes to this lifestyle, if you're gonna bring a woman out here, you better have you better have at least running water, a septic system. Even if you gotta do an off-grid system, you better have something that is close to what she would get in regular society. Otherwise, all it's going to do is create headaches and problems. So now for acclimated now for hurricanes outdoors. Yeah. I've been through 2 of them outdoors. So my dad was a trucker, technically considered homeless because he stayed in extended inn hotels when he wasn't over the road. Yeah, I mean, what's the point in paying rent for somewhere you're never going to be? There, like I said, homelessness is an option for some people. You may want to, turn over a new leaf, have a new start in life, maybe take some risks because you think that there's going to be a big payout, but it means that you're going to have to learn how to live off of nothing. So what do you guys think about content that covers this? Or do you think I should do something more like a daily vlog where, I just show what I'm doing around the property, which ain't going to be much until I start raising, a few $100s a month. I'm really not going to be doing that much around the property. So type 1, if you want me to go more into how to and experience stuff. Type 2, if you want me to do a daily vlog. And type 3 if you want me to split it between the 2 subjects. I'd like to know what your guys' opinion is, because it kind of gives me an idea of what the viewer would like. I might put it also out in the community tab as a way to to see how everybody feels about it. So you think I should do like one video? It's like, okay, 3 things you should consider before becoming a homesteader, and then the next video show like all the work that I've done over a few day period of time, and do something like that. So like 2, I'm probably gonna have to do at least 3 or 4 videos a week until I get myself as enough of an authority on the YouTube algorithm to be able to start getting the views that I should. So I mean, kind of that's what I'm thinking. So I should kind of split between the 2. Do you? Okay, so we've got a 4-0 on the split. Okay, next question. Do you? Well, I forgot the question. Oh well, I'll remember it again. But yeah. Anyways, I just. Type 1 if you would like to see more of the daily vlog. Type 2 if you'd like to see more of the, topic related stuff that isn't a daily vlog. So I'm just curious, if I was doing 4 videos a week, should I do 3 on one and 3 on and 1 on the other, or should I do so more on the so more topic related. So maybe 1 daily vlog and 2 topic related. Okay. Okay. So, but Jeremy, you like the daily vlog. Why do you like the daily vlog versus the doing the topic specific? I'm just curious why that's more interesting to you. So it kind of helps me with my format. And hey, it would be really awesome because I know a lot of you guys pretty much watch all of my videos. It would be really nice if you see some points of improvement of like how I could, kind of better tell it. I'll be open to suggestions for a while until I kind of figure out my rhythm on how to do that, because I've tried to do like a day in the life type thing, and when I was homeless, but I struggled with it, getting all that stuff done. So anyways, I'm just curious what you guys think. So hold on, I need to grab my drink. right. So there we go. So I just been adding sugar to this tea. It's been working out pretty well. After this, I think I'm gonna have me a cup of coffee. I know it's before bed, but man, I don't know, I didn't get much sleep last night. It was a rough night. I was so mad at Sam. I don't understand. So, but I don't know. I need to figure out something to do with her, or figure out how to deal with this, because this isn't appropriate. Sorry guys, that's like really big on my mind, just because, you know, it's my dog. It's a reflection of me, and I need to figure out what's going on so that I can correct the issue between us. It just might be that she's just one of those unruly dogs that when you tell her to do something she doesn't want to do, she's going to fight back because she's just headstrong. But you know what? That would make her just like me. I'm that headstrong. A lot of people tell me to do a lot of other things. I'd rather be in pain and do it my way than have little pain and do it other people's way. You know, I have that tendency. So, but okay, guys. So we are hey, what's up, Invisible Man? Nice to see you. Oh wait, no, I just sorry. Like I said, it's been a long day. You know, just being tired, going down to the library, getting a little bit of a charge, all that good stuff. It's been a long day. So, call that dog whisperer guy. He can tell you what's going on. I will try, because a lot of the times I've already read about the topic. I listen to a lot of YouTube, and we follow a lot of the same people. Okay. So, okay, so you've already heard it all. You just want to see what's going on in my daily life, kind of as a way, to get ideas and to follow and to be more connected. You know, it's all good, Tuck. I'm here for the long haul. Life is a work of art, so I'm certain there'll be lots of changes. Well, thank you, Humble Pie. Much appreciated. I'm glad you're here. So she's deficiency in certain nutrients and vitamins and minerals, hence the poop eating. I'm giving her. She wasn't doing it when I was just feeding her straight kibble. When I started feeding her table scraps is kind of when she went back to that. So I don't know. I'll look it up. Alfred, if you want to text me an article you know about it, that's great. I'll look at it tonight. But I don't know. So, but yeah, it just, you know, the days are getting long. I'm hoping that I get to do less of spinning my wheels starting tomorrow, and more of being productive, so that, you know, I'm not, you know, spending so many hours a week doing things that really aren't productive for me. Billion channels on homelessness and homesteading, plus the population don't care about it either. Then why do people watch them? Well, I mean, I know why they watch the homeless channels. It's and a lot of times, some of it's to, like there are people that want to learn about homelessness. There are people that see a homeless person and they kind of want to, you know, be the wind in their sails. But I think the large majority of people just, they either feel bad about their situation, or they're trying to be informed but don't know really how to be informed, and so because they're believing the narrative that all homeless are lazy drug addicts who will never get a job and never be productive. So let's just throw them in jail and forget about them, because at least there we can make some money. You know, I heard a stat. You know how much the U.S. justice system makes a single day, off of everything that they take? Something along the lines, if you monetized everything, it'd be around $10 trillion a day. That's just crazy. You know, because the thing is time is money. When the penalty is that they take your productivity away. So by taking that productivity away and holding you, they are therefore on the hook for that production, because they're trying to stop you, stuff like that. Living vicariously. Okay. All right. All right. So just like seeing all the little projects and stuff like that that I do. So just do what I do and record along the way. And do you guys? I know that there's like one lady that she talks about birds, but she's a homesteader. One of the things that she said that she does is she'll sit there and show all that B-roll, but I think she's talking behind all of that, and she just does like it's like 80% faceless as a channel, and I don't know. It just I'm wondering if I should do it in that style or if I should just kind of do what I did with the boulder. So those of you that watched the boulder one, um, uh, the boulder one, should I do it more like that or should I have it with a voiceover? That's the question. Always something to learn, even from normal tasks. Like I didn't realize the rocks you have on your land. Could you build a rock wall to block the wind? That's actually in my wheelhouse. So boulder. Okay. Okay. So you like the way the boulder was. Okay. No, I don't think that the title probably hit. I think that so when I'm learning on YouTube is to be able to get the views and to be able to get the reach, I need to have titles that people are interested in, that they have a history of watching. So I thought Battle of the Boulders was a pretty, was a pretty good wordplay, but I don't think anybody got it. Battle of the Bulge, Battle of the Boulders. So, but anyways, I connect things really differently, I guess. But it is what it is. You guys have answered a lot of questions for me. Thank you. When you were traveling, you found resources to help you in the areas that you were in at the time. Perhaps you can incorporate that into your homesteading stuff. It was good. You're a very smart man. Well, thanks, Sheena. Okay. Here's the thing with that DFH, and I've been thinking about that as well, because I was like, do I do more behind like the daily vlog? But if the things that I'm going to be doing that I would do topic related is to kind of show, and maybe that's more along the lines of a daily vlog, but to kind of show how I'm developing relationships and getting myself intertwined within the community. Because one, it will lead to resources. It will lead to opportunities to earn money. It will lead to opportunities for a lot of things, but you got to get known. Since Farm Girl has gone away, it has given me the opportunity to do things the way I normally do, which is I'm walking down the road, somebody's going to pick me up, have a conversation with me, and sometimes I'll see them 2 or 3 times as they pick me up along the way. It's getting pretty common for me to get a ride down to the library now. I don't even take the bike. I gotta fix the shifter and I gotta replace the tube anyways. It's not really that rideable. So, things like that. I want to, because now that I'm kind of getting myself situated, now that I have my power situated, now I have 20 hours a week to devote towards things that are going to be lucrative for me to be able to make money. Because in a homeless channel, you're making your money through your tip jar, through super chats and things like that. When you're doing this lifestyle, it does, unless you're getting sponsorships, brand deals, or you are making money through the community, or you have your own products or services to sell, you're not really going to make a lot of money just doing this topic, which is why I'm focusing on the contracting thing to begin with. Because I was telling a homeless entrepreneur this too, because I was telling him I finally did my first offering of my first product, and I said I'm actually liking the way that this is going, because when I was a kid, everybody's, well, what do you want to do? Well, I wanted to be a middle linebacker for the New Orleans Saints, because back in the 90s, they had one of the best middle linebacking cores. Ken Norton was one of my heroes, Zach Thomas, Singletary. There was quite a few like great middle linebackers, and I loved being a middle linebacker when I played football. So I was like, that was my plan A. And my old man's like, yeah, not everybody makes that. You better have a plan B. So my plan B was to go in the military, and spend 20 years like my old man, which I made an attempt to. Some of you know the story. And the other plan was to become a constitutional lawyer. When I did this before with, I started peddling my services. I was getting stolen from by the people that were helping me. But if I would have gotten what was coming to me, I'd have made a little bit of money off of what I was doing, because I was settling disputes, and things like that, and I was using my knowledge to be able to do that, to be able to put people in order. And so, I really really enjoyed that. That was my passion. If it wasn't for just like, having some things go sideways, and me not really knowing how to market myself, because that was before I started my cleaning business, I probably would have done a lot better. I want to use this as an opportunity, because I mean, if I'm going to really do what I really really love, and I really really want to talk about it, this is that subject. Because I honestly, my greatest passion, other than being a football player, would have been being a constitutional lawyer. It's just, and so being able to talk about that, and this is the right venue, really, it is. So, my husband is getting ready to retire after 23 years. He wants to pretty much be homeless, if that makes sense. I could see that. Um, I could see that. You just get tired of paying bills for something that's going up, and then you have nothing left over for yourself. Uh, a lot of seniors, that's why they went to the van life, is because Social Security didn't give them enough to keep up with everything. And so that's why, like, you see, cheap RV living and in his community, they're all boomers, or most of them are boomers, and they're all um they're all old on some sort of fixed income, and it becomes harder and harder to live on that fixed income as time goes along, because your income isn't growing with the cost of everything. So they end up going with the van life, because it's more affordable, it's less stressful, it's less hectic. And if you take the time and spend the money and build out a van, I mean, I didn't get to see the inside of Outdoors' bus that he had, but I'm sure he had it pretty nice, set up just the way he wanted it, because it became his own personal man cave. So, something like that makes sense. Um, Selling house and living on cruise ship, sell 12 months a year for 40 to 60K a year. Yeah, if you can afford something like that. So, yes, from the army. Okay. Um, oh yeah, he did 23 years in the army. Okay. Yeah, my old man did 20. My grandfather did 23. What was his rank when he retired, if you don't mind me asking? So, but yeah, I mean, if he was constantly deployed, because that was the number one thing that my dad always told me, is like, don't go in the military. When I went in, you probably went out 1 week every few months. Now you're going out 1 and 2 weeks. You spend half your life out in the field, constantly training, training, training. Oh, nice. So I think that's what, an E7, I want to say. So, my sergeant first class, and then I think it goes master sergeant, then sergeant of the army, something like that. But anyways, but yeah, my dad did communications. My grandfather, he did a lot of he was Corps of Engineers, but he did do a lot of special forces stuff. So, and he was so good at what he did that, like, the last few years before I retired, he started writing the recruiting manuals, or excuse me, he started becoming like a top-notch recruiter. And it got to the point where he was so good that he could go into any office and turn it around. And so what he did is, indirectly, is he rewrote the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force recruiting manuals, all to be kind of uniform in the way in which they practice, and that's the reason why the military is able to meet the recruiting goals. Well, it used to be able to meet the recruiting goals. You need somebody to come in and write it for the next generation, but he wrote this in like the late 70s, early 80s, because he retired in like 81 or 82. So yeah, and he turned down E10, which was Sergeant Major of the Army, because he didn't want to spend another decade. They were going to send him to Europe at World Command for the recruiting. So that's what he was going to do. But yeah, my grandfather was my dad's dad was a very very talented man. He is where I get my gift of gab from, my ability to communicate. My business sense comes from my mom's dad. So. But yeah, I mean, my grandparents made a good influence on me. They taught me more than my parents ever taught me. All right, guys. So looks like I lost everybody. All right. Sorry about reminiscing. All right, guys. Anyways, it's the end of the night. Anyways, it's I'm getting down to 20% on my battery. So I will not be doing the live stream tomorrow morning. I will be doing it tomorrow evening, most likely, unless there's an issue. I'll put a post in the community tab. Thanks for being here, guys. You know how to help out the channel, become a subscriber, share, all that other stuff. If you want like closer access to like behind the scenes, come on over to Patreon. Or if you want early access to videos, $2.99 is the membership, and you get at least a 24-hour access to the videos. So still here, but sleep. We'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, thanks, Rail. See you guys tomorrow. Night, Invisible Man.